Back to the FPS full body series, and in this video we are going to get weapon swapping done for our player. So to begin with, we need to have another weapon. I think for now we will have to create a new weapon by going into the models player prefabs. We don't have a prefab yet for any of our weapons, so we know that we've got almost all the weapons here. So we got this one. Any one of them that's gonna be good we can use, but for now we don't need to do this. We'll do this maybe some other video because this might be time consuming. So what we're gonna do is just try to do weapon swapping, the actual mechanics. So I'm gonna do a pretty simple thing. Just gonna duplicate this weapon that we already have, and yep, so this is the weapon we have, and I'm gonna do a pretty simple thing. So this is already a nice little weapon. We can simply find our assets, prefabs, and I think it's fully set up except for this issue. So we did a mistake here, and I think this is not a very good thing to do. Let's just find our weapon class, and we don't need to do this. So what we can do instead is we'll have a private one. So we have a private, has to be public, but not gonna be visible in the inspector. So what do I call this? Player controlled. Okay, let's say that. Okay, well, let's say is current weapon. So that's a better one. If in here we can say if is current weapon, then only all of this code. Otherwise we don't want to do any of it. Okay, then we can come back in here. So we've got this nice code. We need to also tell it that we don't want to see it in the inspector at all. So hide inspector, and that way this is not something that's gonna even care about anything, except the script on its own will do everything itself. So let's just drag our weapon to this prefab folder, and yep, we have a nice prefab, and we can double click to have a look. Everything seems good. We have our animator with the correct animator controller. We've got everything set up. Let's just save the project, and now I'm just gonna go in here and drag a new weapon out. So now we have another weapon in the scene, and I'm gonna place it here. So I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna select our ammo box. I'm just gonna drag that a bit on that side, and as this is only for testing purposes, of course, just gonna have to do some testing. So it's gonna be inside interactions or pickups. Yeah, so let's just put this in here, and I think we can go ahead and just copy this transform, copy component, and then paste in. So we have our weapon here. It's going to be, placed nicely. First we need some Z rotation. That's gonna be 90 in minus, and then 180. So yeah, it looks like that, and just a bit of X movement. Well, actually Y. Inspector looks towards the world values, so we need to drag it a bit above, just that. Okay, so that's pretty okay. Don't have to be so accurate in these things. What really matters is we have the mechanic working. Alright, so let's actually set a weapon script to be an interactable object. So how do we make that work? I think it's quite simple. We can find the weapon, and then we can add I interactable, and as soon as we do that, we're gonna get an error. Let's just implement all of these interfaces. So right away we have got these new two methods, and we're gonna start by returning our string that we're gonna create in just a few seconds, and on interact will be just done in a bit. So we're gonna say, okay, this is for our animator. We can say space, and we can say header, and say interactable settings, and we can define a serialized field private string That's the message, and we're gonna set it to by default our own message. So I know we can. I won't set it to anything because each weapon has its own name. So that's pretty okay, and then we can just send this in there. Then on interact, so as soon as we have an interaction, we have this reference, but what we need to actually do is tell the player controller that we want to switch weapons. So swap weapon, and we need to pass in this. So yes, this is the thing that we need to do. So we don't yet have this function, and as soon as we do have this function, we're gonna have everything working nicely. So let's actually find the play controller, and he's somewhere here. Yep, so that is. And it's gonna define a method in here. I think exposed variables. We should have two star. I think let's begin by writing methods or functions, and then we can have able returners, whatever. So we can define a public void swap weapon. Alright. And this method is going to take in the weapon that we want. The new weapon, I think, is better. And we're going to do all of the code in here to do all of that. So let's see. Okay. This is exposed, so we have this variable field. To begin with, we're going to say new weapon. No, sorry. Our current weapon is already a reference. Because we actually made a change, we have not done that yet, so let me just do some code. So this is to get the initial position, and then we need to set the current weapon. Well, so we can say current weapon dot is current weapon is equal to true, because we already got the reference. This is for now, but maybe later on we have the weapon switching video, and that's gonna cover and fix this, and we won't be doing this, type of thing. Instead, we'll have a direct reference to it. Now set the is current weapon rule. So now we can begin with this function, and it's already stopped erroring. It's no more errors. It's fixed the error. It's saying yes, you're done. I think so. Let's have a look. So yes, we passed in the correct thing. So let's fill this method out. So what's the first thing we need to do? The first thing to do is to do we have a collider? No, we don't, right? Let's say we have the current weapon. So we need to store the position of the new weapon first. So let's say new weapon dot run. No man, come on, I'm making too many mistakes here. Sorry, we need to define a vector 3. New weapon pick up position is equal to new weapon transform position, and then we also need a quaternion. So that's our new weapon pick up rotation. That's set to new weapon dot transform dot rotation. And now we can safely say, alright, we are saying current weapon dot transform. I think it's no transform dot position. We can set this to the new weapon pickup position, and same for the rotation, and set it to the new weapon pickup rotation, and then we need to do it for the new weapon itself. So new weapon is going to equal to current weapon dot transform dot position, which is going to really fail, I'm sure. Well, actually, we also need to do a few other things. So before we set the position, let's also do current weapon dot set parent. So we need to do transform set parent, and we're gonna set parent to the new weapon dot get parent. How do we get the parent? Transform dot get parent. I'm not sure how we get the parent. Okay, so, okay, that's good. So we have the reference to the parent. So currently, and we also need to now just what's really left is to just set this correctly. So new weapon dot transform dot set parent. So we need to child this one back into the gun holder. So we have that. Then we need to say new weapon again, and this time transform position has to equal to gun holder dot transform. Sorry, it's already there. Just gonna paste that and change it to rotation. So this should work right away, and let's have a test as soon as I'm sure about the code. So begin by storing the new weapon pickup, then we simply set where it's gonna be, and then we set the new weapon to our, well, we haven't actually done that yet. So current weapon is equal to new weapon. Also need to do that at the end. Just gonna fill this message out. So we can say swap and swap AK-47, and then go in here and just paste it. So that's because they both are same. So let's have a look at what happens. Let's just Command P or Control P on Windows, and then we should be able to try it out. So let's come in here. Actually, our weapon is blocking it. So because we don't have a collider, and until we don't have a collider, it's not gonna be ever actually checked. So now the only way is to go here, and it's not yet added yet. Let's just set this to this. Come back in here, and we can see everything is okay. Do we have any overrides? Apply all. We wanna apply all of these overrides and make sure that nothing goes wrong with our prefab. Yep. So we need to have a collider. Let's add a box collider, as that's the basic one that we would like to use. We will also add a rigid body later on, but I think it's okay for now. So let's just add a box collider. And it looks like our box collider did not get any bounds, so he didn't automatically do it for us. Let's remove the component. And yeah, okay. So we can only add a box collider here. Let's add it. Okay, we can just position this correctly. So we can see that that's too big. We can change the size to become as small as that much. 0.05 makes sense to me. And then we need some offsets on the Z-axis. That looks okay. And then just make this fix the height. So pretty okay, accurate enough. 1.2125. Just add a 0.01 offset as well. So that's an enter, and let's hit again, and yep, it's auto saved. So saved, everything's saved, and we have a collider. So hopefully the raycast should now get the collider first, and then get the message, and should be able to give us swap the weapon. Sorry. So we can see we have this nice UI, and you can already see a bug. So that's due to the fact that it's trying to prevent. It's okay. I think that's okay. Nice UI, and if you press E, we have done some type of a bug. Alright, okay. So everything is okay. You can see we can shoot, and it's this weapon that's shooting. However, you can see that we missed out a few steps. So, of course, yes, we all forget, and we had to do a bit more stuff. So let's say dot is current weapon is equal to true. We also need to say that before we set the current weapon, so we need to say dot is current weapon is equal to false. make a small space. I think we can do this just here, and it makes it look more neat. One more thing was to set the correct IK targets. So we can see left hand IK targets. Well, what is this? This is a game object. Left hand IK is a 2-bone, so target. Why can't we get the target? Don't get. Oh wait, let me just have a look. Alright, so we're gonna check this out, and right away I can already see that we have these two things that do the job. We need a reference to both of these scripts and modify them accordingly. So we're gonna just check that out. Come in here, and where we have the interactions weapon, I think we'll go with weapon first. So is that the reloading? Really? Quite a lot of variables for weapon. Let's add that. So let's say the script is fall, transform, position, and rotation. So that's position and rotation, and that's going to be the right and IK follower, and then we can say for that one as well, the left hand IK follower. So this is basically it follows the targets, right? So that's why. And then we can write right hand IK follower dot target. So that's exposed field, and we can set this to the new weapon dot right hand IK. So we don't have any. We do have left hand IK transform, but we don't have a reference to the other one. So just fix the left one at least. Left hand IK follower. That's the correct name. We're just gonna copy and paste this one and make it right hand, and then go and define that field which is missing in the script. Haven't yet added. Let's go into the weapon script, and in here we will see that we have got a left hand IK transform. We also need a right hand IK transform. Alright. Looks pretty okay to me. Let's come in here. Have the reference. Let's come in here back. So it's gonna save everything first and load this, and we're gonna go in the weapon, and in here we can see we need a reference. So it's already got the other one. We just need to pass in the right hand. So now we've done quite a few changes, and I think nothing should go wrong now, as far as I think so. So the weapon is all okay originally. Breathing effects going really well, and we can swap this AK-47, and we get a null reference exception. Okay, so why did this occur? So basically, did it reload the script or not? I don't know. What's the issue here? It just gave a null reference exception and was showing me the swap weapon function. Well, we passed in this, right? What are we passing in this, right? This dot game object. We don't want to give it the game object. Load this again. Come on, load it. Yep. We don't have a reference to these two, of course. That was as forgetful as I could have been. Just pass in these scripts that we need to pass in. Okay. Now I think we have fixed the bug, so we can see these small fixes. These small issues do occur when you are making your system or making big changes. Yeah. So if you press E, we have swapped it, and the proof is this one is the different. How do we make sure that we actually changed it? I don't know. We can see that the scale has changed. Maybe that's a good excuse. can't even find out, but we could clearly see what happened in the hierarchy. If we press it again, and we can keep doing this again and again, and it just keeps happening. So we can clearly see this one's open, it goes there, then. So we have our interaction swapping system, or whatever you want to say, working, except for we don't have any more sway right away. And that's because we have done a small issue. We're not childing it to the gun sway, we're childing it back to the gun holder. However, we need to use the gun sway, which we don't have yet. So let's come back in here and check what we have assigned. Where's the... Secondly, we just need to find all references, just in case. So we can already see that this is actually a variable which is using the local position of this object. So why does it even need this? Let's find all references on this one. So if we do find all references, we'll see that, yeah, we're making use of this here. Where is it? Oh, come on, where did it go? Right, okay. New position, the pause. So this is being used as preventing the clipping. It's not actually meant for this job. So basically, this is the gun holder. We just need to make a new vary transform, and that's for our gun sway, right? So that should fix everything. As soon as we just change that from below in here, we can say we don't want that anymore, we just want to use gun sway. Same thing here as well. Yeah, everything should work. Yep, we have all the variables set correctly. So now that's gonna be kind of, I think, the almost end of this video, because of the fact that we've got the system working in quite fast. We've done it pretty fast. Come in here and have a look at this. And E. Really? Come on, I always forget to assign these references. So gun sway needs to be assigned. Okay, fine. I just assign that by searching it. That's a nice way. Then opening it again and again, just passing the reference, and hopefully it's gonna work. So come on. Yo, let's do this. So we come all the way here and we press E, and again we can't be sure. Looks like it's happening too quick for our eyes to even have a look. So the only way to is to actually opening this one, because of the object Unity doesn't even care about that, so it doesn't actually close or open that. We can make this one like this, and we clearly know which one's different. So now, and yep, so you can see how that one just went, and this one's the enabled one, which we actually made. And everything else works correctly. So we have 21 ammo in this one, and if we go here, we have 29. We reload. It's like really crazy. So we have 13 and 70. We come here, you have our intractable. Yep. Now one more quick thing is that when I'm gonna reload, so suppose I say reload, I kind of wasted my bullets. That just destroyed our game. So you could see what happened, right? Yes, I could. So what we need to do is quite simple. There are two things. We can interrupt, or we can just tell him, hey, we don't want to do this. So the best way is to just come in here, add a nice statement and say, hey, we are not reloading. So is reloading is equal to false. If that is true, we don't want to do any of this such type things. So we don't want this thing to happen with us. Okay, nice and neat. And I think that's going to be the last time I actually press the play button again, in this video at least. Okay, we're almost done with weapon swapping. Let's come in here and E. So wow, that's great. So what was the issue? And we can see we hit the reload button, so I shoot. That's good. Reload. We can't interact with it anymore. So that's great. So now that means that we can't interact with it. If we reload, and no bugs, I can keep on going crazy. Let's there will be no notes ever. So well, if you do go over any type of bug, or you feel that you can't do something, just let me know in the comments. I usually answer all of them because they are quite a lot. So thanks for watching, and that's going to be the end of this video. We have successfully made our weapon swapping system. Yes, weapon swapping is complete, though we don't have any weapons to actually have different stuff. But don't worry, as soon as I can do that, I'm gonna do that. Maybe in the next one. Yeah. Alright, so I think we're done. No issues, no bugs. Well, if you do go over a bug, just let me know in the comments. And if you are actually following the series, just subscribe and hit the like button, as it is going to help our channel's growth. We are currently quite a small channel, yeah. So just to make our channel grow, you can press the like button. It's gonna help me. And yes, thank you very much for watching the video.